would have been a product that came to us or came to another pay TV network through a studio outlet.
Now, since the news that you have taken it on came out, what kind of reaction have you had? Has it all been positive?
You know, I think it's been surprisingly positive. Naturally, there are people in certain corners who don't think this belongs anywhere, but that's not how our subscribers feel. And we have the advantage of having people who pay for our service. Nobody's getting Showtime who isn't paying for it and made the decision they want, and they make the decision to make a product like this. Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Nancy Goodell. Remember me? It's working Showtime. Inside Showtime.
Dude, yes. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are you just out from New York?
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing?
World Television Network. Actually,
great.
I'm in for Lynn.
Oh, good. Good.
So, why did Showtime pick up this picture?
Well, you know, I think it belongs on premium TV. And we had an opportunity to step in and give this picture a distribution vehicle. It's been seen everywhere in the world. There's no reason it shouldn't be seen here. And, you know, I think it's proven to be the right decision.
So J.P. Fuentes was just saying about how Americans are too uptight. You feel that?
Well, you know, I think so, but you know, I don't even think it's that. I think this one just got kind of out of control from a PR and a media standpoint. It became a bit of a frenzy, and then, you know, it became harder and harder to get theatrical distribution. I think that, you know, the controversy doesn't stem from Lolita the past year. The controversy stems from, you know, 50 years ago, or whenever the book was published and whenever the original movie was made. And, you know, again, I think if the movie was called Marge, you know, it would have gotten released. The same movie would have gotten released. It would have been an R-rated movie. It wouldn't have been noticed as anything other than a big movie that got released on a Friday night and maybe did well or maybe didn't do well, and then went to video and then went to pay TV. And
so
you know,
is this
frankly,
part of the new Showtime?
Oh, absolutely. I think one of the things we like about Lolita is it fits our strategy of providing, you know, a place that programming can go that might not find another home. And that ranges from a bastard out of Carolina to a More Tales in the City to a Thanks to the Wonderful Nations, and any number of things we're doing. So I think it's right down to our strategy.
So business is good?
Business is great.
Good. Great.
Thank you. Take care.
Put map right here. There you go.
Here we go. Just
say,
gentlemen,
we're so pleased to be able to have an opportunity to be part of this.
Oh, this is great.
Delighted to be here this evening. Did you go by the theater map coming across?
I did.
Thank you, John.
One second. Really? All right.
No. Stuff.
How much of a relief is it for this film to find an American audience?
Enormous. Enormous. I mean, I was going to think it would never happen. I'm thrilled, obviously. I've been waiting, you know, a year or 14 months or whatever, and at first I thought, well, next week somebody will buy or whatever. And the reactions have been so good, that was what was kind of ironic, you know. I got letters from people saying that they were overwhelmed and loved it. I thought it was my best work or whatever. I mean, all the people. It's terrific. And then gradually I heard nothing more, and I sort of understood that decisions have been made over and above the people I've been talking to, you know, corporate officials or whatever, not to get involved in this subject matter. And I think that's
Now, Americans are always calling us prudes, but there's so much sex and violence on TV. Surprised it took so long.
Yes, in the view of... I am surprised, yes, because it's a classic novel. It's a novel that's taught in schools and universities everywhere. And you know, one should be able to make a movie about it and have people see it. Just as good.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, right over here.
I think it's ironic that it's found a home on kids instead of in movies where it can be more controlled by parents.
It is kind of ironic, I guess. I mean, it's funny because it's going to be shown in theatres afterwards. It's exciting, you know. I'm sorry. The Goldwyn company are kind of treating this as a sort of elaborate sneak preview, if you like, which is sort of interesting.
Well, I guess that's good.
So it's, I'm lucky.
One more question. Did you know it was going to be this controversial when you started?
I knew it would be, but not this much so. I think that the climate in the country has changed considerably in the last 5 years. I really do.
Do you think that's partly due to our president?
No, I think it's events. You know, it may be the John Bonet crime and murder. Maybe what happened in Belgium. I mean, one wasn't talking endlessly, or it wasn't his fixation really.
Thank you, sir. She's got one question, then we got to bring you in some stuff.
Hi. Can you tell me what can your audience expect from your version of Lolita?
Well, something a film that's faithful to the novel. That's my whole reason. Oh, that was fast. My whole reason for doing the film was because I love the novel. I just wanted to do something that reflected it. I didn't want to do a remake of Kubrick's movie, because however much you love that movie, it's really not a lot to do with the novel. So that's what I wanted to do, really, just make a movie of his book.
And finally, it's here, thanks to the Showtime contingency.
It is, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's go let people see it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
So we're at Dame Asylum. We are
Tonight.
Mr. Swain, this
I'm
is finally going to be seen.
Absolutely thrilled, yes. It's been a long while. Yes, I've been waiting with bated breath, and I'm thrilled now because it's also going to be released on in theatres as well after the movies come out on Showtime. So I'm very excited for both reasons.
It's an interesting. Usually it doesn't happen that way.
Yes, it's funny. I was talking to Jeff Lipsky of the Goldwyn company, Sam Goldwyn company, and he was saying he's going to treat it as a kind of elaborate sneak preview. You know, the action on television. So I'm very excited.
It must have been hard for you as a filmmaker. I mean, you put a lot of effort into this classic, really good story.
Yes.
That's been seen before as a film, and
yes.
It's been respected, and the response that people gave you was just, I mean, really.
The response was fabulous.
Really,
yes. I mean, they wrote me letters and stuff like that. So at the beginning, I thought, well, my God, somebody's going to pick it up next week or the following week or whatever. But then gradually I realized that there's surrounding the subject matter, there's a kind of a fear. People, were taking corporate decisions not to get involved in it, and we're going above the people who had said that they wanted the movie. And I think that's a pity. You should be able to make movies about contentious subjects. You should be able to, the idea of sweeping them under the carpet and pretending that they don't exist is just silly. You should be able to argue and discuss and that's healthy.
And a good film will trigger that discussion.
Well, absolutely, yes, as a novel will. So I think it's kind of a little bit about an unhealthy state of affairs that we're in. A little bit maybe like it was in the 50s when Kubrick was doing his movies. Not dissimilar, I think.
So you don't think necessarily that society being too hypersensitive about these kind of issues?
Well, I think that this movie would have come out very easily in the 80s, in the 70s, but I think that now, I'm not sure whether Martin Scorsese, for example, could make Taxi Driver. I don't think he probably could now. Or maybe Rambling Rose, that Martha Coolidge movie. I'm not sure that could be made either.
What's the one thing that you hope people take from this film when they see it?
Well, this novel is so extraordinary. I mean, as you know, it's taught in schools and universities all over the world, and it's an amazing mix. It's horrific what this guy does to the girl, obviously, and yet it's hilariously funny. And you find yourself kind of at times being sympathetic towards Humbert, and you don't want to. So it's a genuinely disturbing film, and it's, as was the novel, disturbing, and I think it should be disturbing. You should feel uneasy after you've seen the film. But ultimately it's also a love story. So Nabokov pulled this kind of amazing juggling act, if you like, with all of these elements, and I've tried to do the same thing with the movie.
Well, thank you very much. Congratulations again.
Pleasure.
And I look forward to seeing it.
Thank you.
The ACLU,
Sure, thanks
how
for
do you
waiting.
feel about them having to bring the film to the country here?
Well, it's nice to see them here, I mean, part of the problems that I had was a law that came out in 1996, which a lot of people say wasn't constitutional. I think it's called the Child Pornography Law or Child Obscenity, and it was kind of aimed at the internet, but it sort of spilled over into movies as well. And so I had to be, you know, very careful, and I took out shots that I'd done with the body double, because this law said, amongst other things, that an adult couldn't portray a minor. And so, you know, it's a problematic time, and I'm so pleased that they got involved, the ACLU, and it's important to hang on to this kind of freedom of expression, really. I mean, it can be eroded so easily, really, you know, without laws. You know.
Did they contact you, or did you contact them?
I think they contacted us, actually through my agent, Jeff Berg. I think they contacted us and wanted to be involved with it.
Right across the street.
That's exactly it.
What you go?
Always out there. Did you guys want to go inside promoting the subject matter that they wanted to contain? And I think the book is not like that. It's just a little bit of here.
So, now how old are you? All right, well, I guess we're going to talk after all. I just wanted to know, in your experience, what happened here. What were you told from the procedures, why they were educating, and what do you think the real reason was?
Really say anything. This initiative.
Any movie you have? Okay, he's coming here, right?
Okay.
Bringing him back, right?
We'll bring him back.
Well, it's for ITN. Excuse me.
Oh, hello. We'll bring him back.
Good.
We gotta take some photos first. We gotta take some photos first. Just 1 second.
We'll bring him back.
Can you come back and give me
Just get this one.
Thank you.
big showtime, bye.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what you're wearing? I don't know. It's actually out of my closet this time. Hi, World Television Network.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good. So, have you seen the original Lolita?
No, I haven't. I've heard a lot about this movie and the book and all that stuff, but I really don't know that much about it. That's why I'm here.
And are you a big Jeremy Irons fan?
I am. I am a big Jeremy. I think he's a great actor. I've seen just about all of it. Because he just picks good projects. So.
This project is a tragic sort of, controversy like the first movie. What do you think about that in the 90s?
Yeah, it's like, it's America. We're Americans. We're a little excited and inhibited, and of course we're going to have a problem with this, but it's good that they're bringing it out and we're making people talk. It's good, because it is a very serious subject. It can be and it cannot be, because, Lolitas will be Lolitas, and they will always exist, and it's not a tremendously harming situation. I mean, if a girl is 18 years old and decides to be with a 30-plus-year-old man or whatever, it's going to happen. And there are women that are 18, 17 years old, 15, that are more women than you and I.
That's Hollywood, right?
So, this is great. I mean, I just think it makes people talk and opinions and talking about it, and I think that's fine.
And how's your
Yeah, it's okay. Not as good as I would like it to be. It's a little quiet this summer, but I'm enjoying it.
Okay, we'll put the word out.
Okay.
I'm talking to important guys. We finally have an audience in America.
Well, it's not a relief, it's just pleasure. I'm very happy for Adrian Lyne because he's put a great deal of his life. I spent about 5 or 6 weeks on the film 3 years ago, working very hard, but it was 5 or 6 weeks, and I've made 4 movies since then and done 3 plays. So for him, I'm extremely happy.
In other parts of the world, this film has just been accepted. Why do you think America seems to have so many reservations?
Well, I don't think America does.
Why not?
I think members of the press do, but that's not America, is it? The American public will now have a chance to see Lolita, and they'll decide for themselves. They'll either put up their $8 or they won't.
And have you got any reaction from other people in Hollywood to this film? Has it all just been positive, or?
No, I don't live here. I'm only here for a few days, so I really haven't talked to very many people who've seen it. I'm sure tonight will tell a tale.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, Nancy. Is this Miss York? Mrs. York?
Hi, nice to meet you, Nancy. Gary?
Hello.
So I heard that you play this crazy guy in the movie. Can you tell me about that? Is that something that's inherent in your character?
Well, he's not crazy. He's decadent and lewd and vulgar and cruel and despicable, but he's not crazy.
So it's a stretch for you, is what you're telling
Yes,
me.
it is. A big stretch. Yeah.
And tell me about working on such a film that has great controversy about it. Did you guys feel any of that sense on the set? Or?
You have to remember that we made it 3 years ago, and we were just all cocooned in a set, and none of the controversy had started really until the movie was over. There may have been a little bubble of it during the work, but most of it was long over.
And what can the audience expect? Because it sort of is long overdue to finally get to an audience.
They can expect an honorable, decent, provocative, extraordinarily beautiful film about a subject that is admittedly dangerous, but done with great skill and I think great honor by Adrian.
Great, thank you very much.
And screen. So, I know Gus Van Sant wants to do a nice job of retelling the Psycho story, and I'm going to play the psychiatrist at the end who tells us that it wasn't Norman who killed. It was, well, you know who, but some of the modern audience doesn't. So we'll try to give them some thrills. I don't know whether they'll be the same kind of thrills they got the original, but we're going to do the best we can.
So what's the word? Are you going to be sticking to the original script or not?
That's my understanding.
And have you had a read through of it already?
I've read it, sure.
How do you feel about Jamie Lee Curtis said it shouldn't have come back? She's not unhappy about her mother's film being messed with.
Boy, she was good there, Janet Leigh. And so, you know, maybe she's right, but somebody's going to do it, and I've been asked, and we'll give it the best shot we got.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. You bet.
Madam.
Nancy Goodell with World Television News.
Hi, Nancy.
How are you?
Excellent so
It's
far.
a beautiful day.
Danny Jansen.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
So, have
Beautiful
you...
green eyes.
Thank you very much. What a great day. Keep her around. So, have you heard about the controversy surrounding the movie?
Only
and
in this red carpet line. I didn't know anything about it before that, except that, you know, Lolita, it's about a young girl and an older guy. You know, it's kind of scary stuff if you've got a daughter, which I have 3.
Really? How old?
Mine are 26, 28, and 30, thank you.
So you're over that range.
They're on their own, and they're going to have to fight off the cads by themselves.
We've had a few people say, oh, Americans are so uptight about the subject of sex. Do you feel that to be true?
Got me. I don't know much more about what's going on than my little tiny corner, so I don't think I'm the right one to ask.
What do you think about Showtime, the cable network, teaming up with a movie studio to kind of get this movie out?
Is that what happened? Well, sounds like somebody had to get in there and do it.
Great. What are you working on now?
Psycho. I'm working with Gus Van Sant on the remaking of Psycho. I played the Simon Oakland part at the end, who tells us that it wasn't really Norman who killed, it was you-know-who.
Right. Great. Okay, excellent.
I'm a list. First done. Dylan Pearl. Bob Hope. Player Danny. Dominique.
We want to get
She's right inside at the bottom of the stairs of where she was.
real quickly about obviously, nothing, don't be scared. Nothing to be scared. Obviously, you haven't seen the film yet, but you have seen the film. So then, tell me, is there any controversy or any reason for it to be justified at all?
It's very, very well done. So well done. You sort of understand the character. And that makes it disturbing because this is, sort of a great one. So about childlike, exalted, very strange.
Now, knowing Hollywood is reviewed and Beverly and was knowing it was into it, why do you think it is that this film has such trouble getting released?
Oops, sorry, honey.
That's okay. I don't mind.
Why do you think Americans are so afraid of this film? What's the big problem?
The subject of age differences has always been a feared subject in any combination. And I think everybody's frightened of their own sexuality, which is why they fear that maybe this will happen to them and if we cross boundaries of social behavior and be in a zone of a no zone, dangerous place. Sexuality can lead to very bad stuff.
Now you've seen the film, you've heard of the controversy sort of completely blown out of all proportion.
I don't think it's blown out of proportion. I don't know what everything that's gone on, but I mean the film is so well made. It's seen it by an audience who can understand it and who can appreciate the film. It's a story. The first film was interesting. That seems to have been accepted widely. It plays on television. I don't think this is particularly more. It's for adults to choose to see the film.
I think it's strange Americans seem so used to violence, so used to sex on TV that they should kick up a fuss about this film.
I find that quite important. I'm very anti-violence. I'm not terribly anti-sex, but obviously the subject would be a very, very explosive one. And men have always had problems with younger women. I mean, it's not something, it's always been that problem. The girlish, and how women, for girls are so womanly, they're so frivolous and flirtatious, and they play with their daddies and all the things. And that's just this movie takes that situation to a place. Hard to talk about it. It's really good film.
You stop to say hi to World Television News. How are you?
Hello, this is Amy.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Nancy. So I've been working with your good friend Jackie Collins on Jackie Collins Hollywood. We know we had you in. What brings you out to this tonight, to see Lolita especially?
Well, Adrian and his film. I always see Adrian's work, and I've seen this film actually before. I wanted him to see it, and it's really well done. Really well done.
Do you think the controversy that sort of has surrounded the film has been overblown in the United States?
Probably. I mean, that he hasn't been able to get a distributor for a long time. Seems to be when you look at what's out there.
Right.
But at the same time, I understand at the same time. This is so well done, and you understand everybody's point of view. It makes it maybe a touch dangerous.
Do you feel there's a risk doing a remake?
No, I don't think great books could be put in the same category as mediocre scripts. This is a book. This is a major book. It's like, I was involved once in a remake of Anna Karenina. I certainly didn't feel it belonged to the movie companies. It belongs to the writer.
And what do you
you can make them and make them if you want to, I think. Like plays, and keep on remaking plays.
Right, better and better, hopefully.
Yeah.
And what do you think about Showtime and a film company like Goldwyn coming together to get the picture out?
I think it's great. I'm happy for Adrian. I'm really happy for Adrian. I really am. And I'm happy for the young actress Dominique. She's wonderful in this film. She's got every nuance of feminine, behavior, and it goes in and out, and it jumps from being very womanly to being very little girlish and naughty and then very coquettish, and just like little girls are.
Well, you wrote the book on that, so did you give her any advice on how to handle it from here on out in Hollywood?
She looks like she knows much better than I do.
You're great, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Now we'll go back to TV. Now, actually, I have a good question for you for Roy Television. So those are just some of the guys that didn't get down there.
All right.
This is for Roy Television. I want to ask you a question. Well, first of all, I was making the film so long ago. But, it seems like you and Jeremy How did you get through that? How did you get through the format? You got a spelling?
I hadn't really had the section grade.
Just to your right. Stick it out. Move that in a little bit.
I'm fine.
Relief for you, is it, to know that this film's going to be seen in this country now?
An immense relief.
I was going to introduce myself.
The film should be seen. It's beautifully made.
Why do you think there was so many more reservations here than perhaps in other parts of the world?
You know what? I don't know. It's a puzzlement to me, and it will remain an enigma. And I think that if you saw the film, and hopefully you will, then you will be equally puzzled.
Have you had any negative reaction from the Hollywood community? People here saying things about this film, saying that you shouldn't have done it. Anybody within Hollywood itself, or the
No one couldn't have made it. In fact, everyone almost uniformly has been quick to congratulate all of us on having made a pretty remarkable.
Nice to see you. Obviously, Hollywood's sort of governed by money. I mean, what kind of reaction did you have when you first started out?
I'm sorry.
Hollywood's governed by money.
Yes.
If you want to see a film that makes a lot of money,
yes.
It must have been quite a scary prospect for you to go out with this film.
Well, we hope that we still will make a lot of money. This film is going to be released now, and hopefully the audience will want to see it. We have yet not made a lot of money.
Well, best of luck to you. Appreciate your time.
Thanks very much.
And what are you expecting of this performance tonight?
I'm sure it's going to be great.
And what do you base it on?
Well, I think it's a great part, and I can imagine Jeremy filling it with everything that you would want in that role.
As a director, is this a project that you would like to tackle because of the controversy, because it's a remake? Is it something that you see yourself doing?
Well, this specific project?
Or something like this that might carry that same controversy?
I don't know, if I felt I had something in mind that I wanted to do, I'd go after it. I mean, I've done all kinds of stuff, so the only thing I go by is what interests me. So I mean, I can understand how somebody would say, "Hey, I've got a take on this, and I want to try it." I mean, that's perfectly legitimate.
Obviously, sexualized videotape being great notoriety for you is sort of along the same sexual.
Yeah, not quite as controversial as this.
But how do you think this film is going to play in the marketplace today? Summer movies, etc.
I don't know. I'm anxious to see it tonight and sit in a crowd and see what it feels like. I'm sure it's a quality film, that it's not a piece of exploitation. So I'm hoping that they'll, be able to get people to go see it.
Great. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Mimi.
Just look at us. Just look at us.
Come on, we love you. Come say 2 words.
For Europe.
Yeah.
For Europe.
Fans.
WTN.
Come on.
We're your biggest fans.
Maybe please. Thank you very much.
So you'll sign autographs.
You look great. You did a good job of politically incorrect.
Thanks.
This one. Okay.
So if I can just get you on just one card too.
Hey Charlie, good to see you. Carrie left it in. Do you want to figure out let's go?
Thank you very much.
What's the ferret's name?
Snoop.
Snoop?